Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends Spider-Woman, which is part of the Molten Man Build-A-Figure wave of the Spider-Man Marvel Legends. And this is one which I think many people are very happy to hear announced. You know, I think most people, if I had to guess, prefer the black and white suit over the red and yellow one, but that's just a hunch, so let me know in the comment section below which one you prefer. I personally like this one the most. And I think it has just really nice contrast with the hair, and then of course the black and white suit is always just kind of cool. So, you know, that's my personal taste, and I'm happy they released it, and it does some things really nicely. And a couple things are, well, as you can guess, pretty questionable. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands roughly 16 centimeters, which makes it pretty close to 6¼ inches. You know, somebody told me the other day I need to get a new ruler, that they're tired of seeing the blue one. You know, I've had this blue ruler for like 25 years. I'm not switching it out. I like this blue ruler. It's become a trademark of my channel. I'm not changing it. You take that back. Anyway, I don't know why I just thought of that. Probably because I have problems. But this figure, overall, I gotta say it looks pretty good. It looks a lot better than I thought it was going to. In fact, it looks better in hand than I thought it looked in the promo images, the prototype images. And I'm not just fondling her. I noticed there's a white spot on her breasticle right there, and I was trying to get it off, but I couldn't because it's clearly just a scratch or something like that. So that's kind of a bummer. But here's the thing. Aesthetically speaking, the women figures, people of female nature figures have not been especially aesthetically pleasing of late. As in like the last 2 years, they have all looked like preteens with big boobs, sometimes. And this one, it's not much better. It's not so bad though. See, here's the thing. She's got kind of a big chest. Her breasticles are pretty big, and the rest of her body is fairly slim, so it's kind of a strange look. But it's not terrible. I think it might look better than some of the other ones, even though the legs they're still really skinny, but having the line right there kind of gives an indication that they're wider than they actually are, so she seems to have better proportions than she actually does. Same thing with the shoulder up here, just the way the contrast works, it makes the eye think that you're seeing something that's not actually there. So, and again, I'm not making the argument that all the figures need to look like sex dolls or something, but they should look like their source material. And because of the paint job, this one actually, even though it's kind of an illusion, looks better than most of the other releases have. So I'm not gonna say it looks as bad as, say, like Elektra or Psylocke or any of those guys. So that's definitely a good thing. The spider logo is really clean. They did a good job with that. They also did a decent job where they painted white. It's pretty good. Where they painted black, it's pretty good. The line work definitely could be better, but it's not terrible. She's a little glossy in some spots, but it's not as standoutish as I thought it might be, and it's only on the white, so it looks better than it would if it was on the black. So that's pretty good. I think they did a pretty decent job with the face. At first, I kind of thought the eyes were going to be too far apart, which is something Hasbro's been doing lately. But it's also something that happens a lot with Spider-Man masks. The eyes are not necessarily in a place where the human eye would actually be behind it, but hers looks pretty good in hand. It looks a lot better than I thought it would. The hair has really nice shading on it, paintwork on it's really cool. Decent sculpt, except for this one little chunk right here, which is going to make it hard to pose this figure without having a really weird silhouette. Like, it looks like a tendril, like a Carnage tendril or something sticking off the back of her body. It just doesn't... It's kind of a weird thing. Like, I don't know how whoever sculpted this decided that should be there, because in most angles it's going to look really weird, you know? I mean, obviously that's a minor thing, but it's still something that should be considered, so that's a little strange. But all in all, I do like the shading, even though it's not as clean as it could be. It does look pretty good, so... Aesthetically speaking, it's way better than I thought it was going to be, so I'm going to give it I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's pretty cool looking overall, I think. Yeah, I guess so. As far as accessories go, we have just one interchangeable hand, which is this weird highlight, however you say it, weird, I don't know, lacrosse stick shaped. It's not lacrosse. I don't know what it is, but it's shaped like a little basket type thing. Like, I don't know, does she... Honestly, I don't have that much knowledge on Spider-Woman. Does she, like, make these shapes with her webs and then have, like, a giant ball of webbing in her hand? I don't know what this is supposed to be. I have no clue. I like the way they did the webbing in this kind of rainbow-ish kind of look to give it some character, but I have no idea what this is supposed to be. If anybody can shed some light on that, I don't even know how I would look this up. Like, how can I find out if this is something she's supposed to have? what would I call that? Weird web basket thing, claw swipey slash swoosh? I don't know what to call it. So 5 out of 10 for accessories. That's freaking weird, unless it's like some kind of iconic thing that I've never heard of, in which case let me know in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the articulation. Women figures tend to not have good necks. Let's see, does this one... It has the hinge, so that's a plus. We don't often get that, so we have the hinge and the ball peg. The hair will get in the way some, that's a given. She can look down. We do have a little bit of a lollipop situation, but you can't tell just by looking at it, so that's okay. Side to side's pretty good. Looking up is basically not going to happen, not really anyway. And you do get plenty of attitude. Well, I guess it's not that much. So it's a lollipop that doesn't even really lollipop. Well, I guess that's okay. It's not great. Shoulders seem to be pretty big, but they do tuck in when you move them. So you can get the arms up to be horizontal. Full rotation is all right. Single jointed elbow, just about 90 degrees. Bicep swivel is down there. And then for the wrists, we have a swivel and a hinge. So that's all pretty much standard. Diaphragm joint, does it work well? Sometimes it works really well. Sometimes it's terrible on these figures. Let's see. It leans back pretty far. It leans forward far enough. Side to side's pretty good. This is a pretty nice diaphragm joint. It's not the best we've ever seen, but it is pretty damn good. So I like that. This is a really solid diaphragm joint. For the hips, they don't go out to the side very far. Going straight out, that is as far as they go. And trying to wiggle them around, you don't get anything farther. So less than 45 degrees. That is not great range for a spider people. Going forward though, you get pretty decent range. That's all right. They do go back just a little bit. Thigh swivel is okay. Double jointed knee is pretty good. And then for the ankles, they go all the way back and not very far forward. And the ankle rocker is very stiff slash stuck on mine, but it does have one, so it's okay. So final verdict on the articulation, it definitely could be a lot better, but some parts are pretty good and some parts kind of suck. So 7, 6.5, 7, I don't know, something like that. You can pick out of 10. All right, time for the final verdict overall on this figure. It's a much stronger release than I expected. It looks way better than I thought it would, though it does have some weird things like the weird chunk of hair that just kind of sticks out of nowhere. It's kind of weird looking. Like, I get what they were going for, but it's still kind of weird looking. Skinny legs still, less than great articulation in the hips. Strange accessory, maybe? A question mark? I don't know. Is it? Is it not? I don't know. So it's not like a super impressive release, but it's not bad at all. And I think it's a nice spot filler. If you like this suit for her, then go ahead and pick it up. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for the final verdict. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you did not enjoy this video, well, you made it this far anyway, so what the heck, it doesn't really matter. If you haven't subscribed, you might want to consider doing it. I've got thousands of videos already on the channel just waiting for you to watch them, trying to save you some money, and new ones coming out just about every single day. So make sure you come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.